In the quiet corridors of thought where intention meets desire, there lies a complex dance between what we wish to attract and the vast continuum of choice that each individual holds. Manifesting a specific person, often referred to as SP in certain philosophical circles, is a subject that entangles the subtle threads of psychology, ethics, and the intriguing nature of consciousness itself. To explore this is not to chase after a simplistic cause and effect, but rather to navigate an intricate landscape where free will and the law of assumption intersect. When we speak of the law of assumption, we are not merely referencing a formulaic approach to drawing something into our lives. This law suggests that by firmly assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, one aligns their inner world in a manner that invites corresponding external realities. However, what happens when the object of this assumption is another conscious being, also navigating their own universe of choices? In this junction, the straightforward methodology meets the unpredictable, creating a space ripe for reflection. Consider the notion of attraction not as a tug of war, but as a resonance. We do not pull someone towards us through sheer force of thought or desire. Instead, we create frequencies within ourselves that might harmonize with theirs. This distinction is vital. It moves the discussion away from control and manipulation towards a subtler, energetic interaction, where intention is respected and free will preserved. Yet the challenge remains. How can one reconcile the intense desire to be with a particular person with the respect for their autonomy? Here, ethics draws a gentle boundary. It reminds us that to manifest a relationship is not to rewrite the will of another, but to prepare ourselves to be an equal participant in a shared experience. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled without imposing it as a reality upon someone else is a delicate balance, one that calls for deep self-awareness. It may help to liken this process to tending a garden. The soil, the seed, the sunlight, each factor plays its part. Yet the gardener cannot command the seed to sprout on demand. The gardener's role is to nurture conditions while allowing the natural unfolding of growth. Similarly, in manifestation, our focus on feeling and belief shapes the soil within our consciousness. But the growth of relationships depends on more than our inner landscape. Reflect for a moment on the interactions between intentions and outcomes in your own experience. Have there been moments when a desire for connection felt unbalanced by the actions or feelings of the other? Such experiences hint at the complexity lying beneath surface manifestations. They invite us to ponder whether our assumptions are truly aligned with a mutual unfolding or merely reflections of our personal longing. This journey also challenges the perception of time and causality. Manifestation often implies a linear progression. Think, feel, receive. But relationships and connections are more fluid, often nonlinear, and shaped by multiple layers of consciousness and choice. In this light, the law of assumption becomes less a script and more a compass, a guide gently directing us toward embodiment of what we seek, not coercion of external reality. When we delve deeper into free will, it emerges not as a rigid rule, but a dance of possibilities. Each person's freedom includes the choice to engage, withdraw, change, or evolve. Thus, for manifestation to harmonize ethically with free will, it must embrace the unknown, that element of mystery that resists total control. To release the impulse to dictate outcomes is to acknowledge the sacredness of choice. There is a profound humility embedded in this acknowledgement. It humbles the conjurer of desires, reminding them that to manifest is to participate in a co-creative process rather than to impose their vision upon the world. This humility does not weaken the power of assumption. Rather, it deepens it, infusing intention with patience and openness. In the quiet spaces between intention and manifestation, a transformative movement occurs. It is here that we begin to see the self not as isolated will, but as an interconnected node in a wider web of consciousness. This view does not diminish personal agency, but situates it within a richer context, inviting questions rather than answers. What does it mean to truly assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, if that fulfillment includes another's freedom? How might our desires evolve when liberated from the need for certainty? These questions linger, inviting a contemplation that is endless and unfolding. To manifest a specific person while honoring ethics and psychology is not to conquer or claim. It is to engage with the profound art of becoming attuned to oneself, to the other, and to the dynamic play of consciousness that weaves all beings together. In this space, the lines between manifesting and surrendering blur. The act itself becomes a meditation on existence, trust, and the subtle currents that guide our connections. And perhaps within this meditation, we glimpse a truth not fixed but fluid, expansive rather than finite, and always inviting us deeper into the mystery of relationship and self. Such reflection carries us beyond simple formulas. It encourages a poetic inquiry into how we navigate desire, freedom, and the invisible threads that link our inner world to the shared experience of being. Manifestation, then, is not a destination, but a dance, a continuous unfolding shaped by respect, humility, and a quiet reverence for the unknowable. Therein lies the essence of engaging with manifestation through the lens of free will and ethical consideration. Not as a way to possess or control, but as an invitation to discover what it truly means to be in harmony with ourselves and others.